Welcome, all my home buyers out there. My name is Omar Pineda, your Austin realtor with eXp Realty, and we are in Leander, Texas today in a community called Carneros Ranch. And the builder we're looking at is Coventry Homes. And just look at this entrance. That's Lakeline Boulevard. And to me, it felt very secluded, like almost a little hideaway to get to this community because of what part of Leander we're in. We're in West Leander, right off Hero Way Boulevard, and I just love how secluded this community feels. And it's definitely a little pocket community because the surrounding areas, they're all built out homes already. So you're not surrounded by a whole bunch of new construction where you see a lot of just equipment driving up and down. No, this is as far as new construction in communities like back there's a lot more stuff happening than in this community, because Coventry Homes is a higher end builder. They definitely don't build super quickly because a lot of their homes are ginormous that we'll see here. This is a model. They only have one model here, and this is a floor plan called Hideaway. Now this floor plan is, when we step inside, you're going to see, because it has a study, it has a formal dining room. And it's just massive. This is really what a forever home would look like because it's 4 beds, 4 baths. It has a study and a game room. It's 2,843 square feet. Here's what the study looks like. It's all a 1-story, and it has a 3-car garage. So Coventry Homes are definitely on the larger side. And they always have additional rooms like a formal dining, a game room, or a study. And here we're going to see the game room, which I think it was well done. Well done. So this is a game room that they have set up, but it's right there next to a bedroom that I feel like this would be a great area for guests to stay, because it's on its own wing of the house. It has that ensuite bathroom, and it almost has, like, where this game room is, it could be like a little living room. Really, if you really want it to be, and you could put a door there according to the floor plan. If there's no door there now, but you could definitely put one there if you want it to be sectioned off to have if your in-laws were ever to stay with you for a longer term. This space would be perfect for that. And the primary, the master bedroom, is on the opposite end. So each of you, so where you would stay and where your guests would stay, you would have your own kind of wing of the house, which I think is pretty cool. So what a big draw to this community is, one, that you're in Leander. So here's the primary. Now keep in mind, we're in the model home, and you see the high ceilings. You see that the beams there that they painted. Those are all extras. That's going to cost. It's an upgrade, so it's going to cost more money. All the model homes that you see, for the most part, always have $200,000 worth of upgrades. So what you see in the model is not what you're going to get per se when in your home, unless you're willing to flip the bill for that. So again, the intention with the builders is just to show you the possibility of what it could look like with these incentives, right? Because I know visually we want to see what that looks like. So that's why the builder does these things. It's not just be like, hey, they're trying to do like a bait and switch. It's just like they're trying to show you their best product with their best upgrades. That's it. But that's something to keep in mind as you're going through the models. You're like, oh, wow, we want this at this price, but you don't get that because it costs $100,000 more with all these upgrades. But you definitely have his and hers walk-in closets, as you should for this type of price point. For this type of price point, you should definitely have his and hers closets. You should have a tub, a deep tub, and a walk-in shower for the master bath. For sure. And this home checks the boxes, his and her sinks. So I wanted to kind of go back to the property tax rate for this area. So because Leander's in this particular part of Leander, it's built out. A lot of the homes surrounding this areas are not brand new. So the mud pit, all that was it's already been done. So in this community, you only pay the 2.1% property tax rate. That's it. There's no extra mud, no extra pit on top of that. It's just 2.1. So that's fantastic because 2.1% for a property tax rate is great. is great. 2.5 and higher, that's when you start getting into territory where now you're going to start seeing a couple $100 difference affected in your monthly, what your monthly payment's going to be. So that's huge in my book. The $53 HOA, that's great. That's great. Usually if you see homes on the cheaper side when it comes to like their price point, you get into the weeds and you look at what's the property tax rate, what's the HOA, that's where they kind of get you. The property tax is usually like 2.7 and the HOA is like $100+. And then before you know it, that's an extra couple $100 there that you're paying on top of what your principal and interest payments are for your mortgage. But for this community, $53 HOA. So it's definitely under $100 and it's a 2.1 tax rate. That's great. So you're really benefiting from the other homes in the surrounding communities that probably paid for that when their communities were new. But since Coventry and D.R. Horton, they're both on this kind of side of where Leander is, and so D.R. Horton's a cheaper price point compared to Coventry, because all these homes here are in the $700,000 plus, right? Because these are big homes. Coventry is they're a builder that's known for their quality finishes, high-end finishes, all four sides masonry. And again, this is a huge lot with the game room, the study, and the formal dining room that we saw, and it has a 3-car garage. These are very large forever homes. And you're in the Leander ISD district, right? The big draw to Leander and Liberty Hill is their school districts, because they're very highly rated schools, A's and B's across the board. But if you're looking at a more affordable price point and you're looking at an up and coming area, East Williamson County, so Hutto and Taylor are going to be the next hot areas emerging, where they're going to be where the next huge demand is going to be, because homes there are still affordable in the 300s. You have the schools aren't there yet, but they're on their way. And I know that because I attend these city updates where I hear the city mayor, superintendent, and the chief of police for that particular city talk about what's coming and what they're forecasting for the future. And Hutto and Taylor, mark my words, are going to be on the map. And the next kind of huge, that's where the demand is shifting from West Williamson County, where Leander and Liberty Hill is, to Round Rock, more central Williamson County, and then eventually it's going to hit East Williamson County, where Hutto and Taylor is. So what I like about this community, property tax rate, HOA, fantastic price. You're in Leander. I think you're in a pocket in Leander. You're in a place in Leander where you're not in a high traffic area. So I like that because it feels secluded. You're surrounded by a lot of green spaces in this community, because if you keep going west, where this community is located, is nothing but green trees. And I mean, who's to know if they're going to continue to build in that direction? But I know if you keep going west, then you hit Treviso and you hit kind of Lago Vista, and it's just a different. That I know that's where the line stops. So I don't see. I mean, other than the construction that we saw in the beginning of this video, which is not a huge lot, there wasn't much more happening in the immediate area, because again, a lot of Leander's already built out. This is just Coventry and D.R. Horton found a pocket and they're building. So I really love what they did here in their backyard for the model. And the model will eventually go on sale too. So if you really dig this too, and you want to just see if they're open to selling the model home because you want this lot, let me know and I will inquire for you. But this is just good ideas from a design perspective if you have no idea what to do for your backyard and just utilize a space like this. I really liked it. So what should you do next? So if you're really interested in a Coventry home and you're looking at this community, let's schedule a time to talk and figure out, where you're at in the process, and talk about some of the incentives that our Coventry's currently offering. Let's talk about some of the comps. I didn't really get a chance to run the comps for this community before I did the video, but I'm sure there's a conversation to be had there that we can take a look at. Again, we are in Leander, Texas. We're in the community called Carneros Ranch by Coventry Homes. They're the only builder in this development in this community, and there's no one else. And Coventry Homes, we didn't get a chance to see it here, but I will link a video in the description where I flew my drone at where the future sites are going to be built. Right, so you can kind of have an idea. It's just literally down the street, but that way you can have a better idea. I'll link that in the description because I did get a chance to fly my drone in different parts of this community, so you can have a good idea of what the community looks like and where future home sites are going to be built. So again, my contact information will be in the description. Please reach out to me if you're looking to buy in the Austin area. If you have a short timeline, like within the next 30, 60 days, you need to close, you need to look for a home and you're not represented, hit me up. We can find something, especially if you're looking at new construction, because that's something I specialize in, and I'm keeping a beat on all the master plan communities around in Williamson County, in the general Austin area. I haven't really messed with the South too much, but I can get there if the demand shifts there. A lot of my clients, for the most part, have been looking at North Austin, though, just to be completely transparent there. So here we go. Here's where future home sites are going to be built. I did include this in this video. Hooray for me. So you can see there's definitely more future plots to be had. What they currently have available, so they currently have 5 homes that I see on my MLS that are currently being marketed as, you could buy, but they're all $725,000 is the cheapest one I see, and the most expensive one I see is $840,000. So this is on the upper end of price point wise, but you're getting a lot of home, and you're in a very secluded area, and you're in Leander, Texas. So there's a huge, and you're in a great property tax bracket when it comes to your tax rate for this community. Huge. That it's a rare find. If you see property tax in the 2s, low 2s for that matter, and there's no PID or PUD, that's fantastic. That's a huge draw. A huge pro for if you're looking to buy new construction in Leander, Texas. So my name is Omar Pineda. I'm your Austin realtor and EXP with EXP Realty. I specialize in new construction. So smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you like keeping up with the new construction around the Austin area. If you're relocating here, the best way to kind of start this process is let's hop on a discovery call. Let's go on Zoom. Let's have some face-to-face time. Let's figure out where you're at in the process. Let's figure out your criteria. What I first want to happen is, after our conversation, is kind of how I approach new construction. Is I really want you to fall in love with the floor plan first. I want you to fall in love with the community second, and then let's figure out the incentives last. Right? Do not let the incentives be a huge determining factor when it comes to finding your next home, because these builders will match, if not get very, very close to what their competition's offering, because they understand they want you to close with their home, and they're not going to let something as far as an incentive, as long as it's reasonable and makes sense, and you know what you're talking about, which is a big part of hiring a real estate agent, because especially one who specializes in new construction, because I keep a pulse on what these incentives look like and how they change, because they do change very quickly. That way, you get a great deal with the best terms, and you get into a home that you just love, that you could see yourself growing with, and you could see yourself a nice return on your investment when it does come time to sell. I appreciate you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.